on this episode of The Dawghouse. The class of 2012 is back from their senior trip. We'll find out exactly how magical their time in sunny Florida really was. This year's Earth Day celebration was a cold one, but that didn't stop HMHS from taking time out to honor Mother Nature. And we'll go on a virtual safari to Kenya with our very own Grace and Coes. It's The Dawghouse, and it happens right now. Haddonfield students are known for being very environmentally conscious, which is why Earth Day this year was another rousing success. Arthur Brennan is bringing us the inside scoop on the event that brought hundreds of students out of the classroom and into the courtyard. Over to you, Artie.
HMHS students and staff celebrated Earth Day on April 27th. The festivities allowed environmental club members to present ideas and displays to motivate peers and younger children to support the cause. The event came together after hours of planning and hard work by students, led by Environmental Club President Rosie Tucker.
So I sort of came up with the concept for this year, which was both the plastic bottles, we made reusable water bottles, and also the turtle on the shirt having to do with Leatherback Trust, which Mr. Smith and I visited this past year in Costa Rica.
I kind of coordinate the activities for the day, so we make arrangements with outside folks who are coming in. But the bulk of our exhibits are student exhibits.
Environmental students put hard work into new ideas that prove themselves environmental friendly. To get others motivated, displays and sculptures are presented for all to view.
This year, the big project was out in front of the school, the big sculpture that spelled out Earth Day in plastic bottles. And that was sort of something we came up with about 2 weeks before Earth Day. And a lot of people had very hands-on things like coloring in of the seed packets and the coloring station. I thought that there was a lot for the kids to do and look at.
Earth Day is an important date on the HMHS calendar, but many are unaware of the history associated with this day of awareness.
Earth Day began in 1970 as an opportunity and as a day to acknowledge environmental issues. Bring people together who are both like-minded as well as to educate those folks who maybe don't know much about particular issues. And so in our community, we have a lot of environmental projects going on. All of my students have a spring project that they engage in, which gives them the opportunity to apply what they study to some sort of service-oriented endeavor. And students I don't have the opportunity to learn about what other students are doing by visiting the exhibits and interacting with those students at Earth Day.
You don't have to go far at HMHS to see a mural related to the environment or a recycling bin. Haddonfield students have shown much awareness towards the environment in the past, but is there room for improvement?
I still think there's lots of room for improvement, which A, is one reason why we have the course, and B, a reason as to why I have them do an actual service project in the spring. Everybody, certainly including myself, there's always room for improvement with regards to environmental issues. So I think the more we learn, the more we are apt to get involved, and the more we're apt to get involved, the better things become.
Earth Day gives HMHS students a chance to positively affect the younger generation of Haddonfield.
I think that when the young kids come, one impact already is that they see the older kids and they automatically think they're really cool because they're old and they're in high school. And when they're sending them a good message, it sort of sticks with them more. And I think that they learned that learning can be both fun and learning about the environment is an important thing, and I think they definitely took something away from it.
Based on the exhibits, I'd like to think that they get enthusiastic about the possibility of taking environmental science when they get to the high school. And I have heard from time to time about parents that'll email me afterwards and say that their son or daughter learned something about gardening or something about energy. So because we have a diversity of exhibits, there's opportunity to learn bits and pieces of information and in some cases actually take something back to their family or something back to their school and actually get involved themselves.
At the end of the day, the exhibits are taken down and the instruments are packed up.
I always enjoy the opportunity to see what my students put together. I always enjoy observing the interaction of those students within the community. I would say it went as a typical Earth Day does. It was successful. Also, the emergency drill at the end of Earth Day was different. But in terms of the actual festivities, it went pretty much as most Earth Days go. Yeah.
For HMHS TV, I'm Arthur Burnham.
Most students hope that their senior trip will be a jolly holiday. Last month, our seniors packed just the bare necessities as they hopped upon their magic carpets for a whole new world. For 5 supercalifragilisticexpialidocious days, it was Hakuna Matata as the seniors painted Disney with all the colors of the wind. We at the Dawghouse are taking you back in time to this year's senior class trip. Bippity boppity boo!
Last month's senior class trip to Orlando, Florida was a chance to celebrate the final days of high school. Many HMHS seniors were excited to be in Disney and not in school, but at the same time sad because it was one of the last times the class would be together as a whole. Many memories were made on this trip.
My favorite part of senior trip was definitely the senior bonding and then just everyone being together. It was just a really good time overall. Missing school especially, I really like that.
And just like rooming with my best friends. We were all in Disney with your best friends. I mean, that's awesome. So I got to really bond with people who I'm not going to see next year.
This trip was so much fun. The kids were a lot of fun and everyone got along really well. There was no drama. People just ran around the parks enjoying themselves. No one ran out into the pool the last night, which was really nice for me since I was doing night duty. I could definitely just veg out.
The class of 2012 spent 4 days in various parks. Even though the weather forecast called for thunderstorms, the senior class lucked out and had sunny weather the entire trip.
My favorite part was probably going on the Tower of Terror with all the seniors and making funny faces. Also, I have to say the weather really cooperated. It was a lot of fun. Running through the rain a couple days and then it going away was perfect.
Definitely it would have to be Cirque du Soleil. It was like the funnest experience of my life. I'd never seen anything like it before, and then we got to walk around downtown Disney, so that was definitely an experience that I've never felt before.
Each senior class is unique in its own way. Therefore, each year the trip is a little different.
Everyone says that senior trip is the best time of high school, and I definitely have to agree with that. Senior trip was great.
I had never been to Disney before, but I had heard about it. And I remember when my siblings went there like 12 years ago, and I was like, oh my God, senior trip, Disney. It was incredible. It was the best 5 days of high school.
We got to hang out with our friends, and it's definitely different than going to Disney with your family. And it's kind of like being with a separate family, and so it was definitely more than I expected.
The years before, this one was definitely the easiest I've been on so far just because everybody got along and no one really got hurt, no hospital visits. So it was just really easy, a lot of fun. Everybody was running around enjoying themselves.
Those 4 days in Disney really seemed to fly by for many seniors. Not only will they miss Disney, but also their time with their classmates.
We have a pretty intense class, and we're very spirited, and so I'll definitely miss our school spirit.
You guys are so laid back and fun and easygoing and just easy to talk to. I really was not stressed at all on the senior trip just because I just trusted you guys. It was a lot of fun. Your personalities don't change.
I think we work really well together, and that came out during Spirit Week. We just kind of like combine, like people who don't really know each other. They have like the charisma to talk to people, and we just work well together, I think.
It is hard for many seniors to believe that their time at HMHS is almost over. The senior trip was a reminder to them that it is possible to have a positive time and get along with your classmates, even in a group as diverse as the class of 2012. For HMHS TV, this is Liz Carlson.
The class of 2012 may have perused the jungles of Disney's Animal Kingdom last month, but our very own Grayson Coes traveled to an actual wildlife reserve in Kenya. Luckily for us, Grayson brought along a camera and a bunch of batteries. Here's a compilation of the sights and sounds that Grayson brought home. So grab your safari gear and let's go! This is the day the land of live by the land of